Welcome back. Just before we went to the break, we looked at the inventions that happened in the last 150 years and how they have been transformed into modern technological tools that we have for delivering the education. So tell us about the education system in Canada. I mean, we live in this country, our kids go to school. What is very important for the children? What kind of education they have to have? At what point they can drop out from school? And what point, government said, no, you still have to go back to the school?
Well, it's a very good question. The system overall in its general form is not very different from any other part of the world. There are 12 grades before university, and after that, after high school, after clearing the 12th grade, you can opt for a trade or a skill, go to a college or go to the university and get into the undergraduate program for any of the fields that you like. In the beginning, although the first 12 years are a bit different in each of the province. For example, I was in Ontario before coming to Alberta. They had the elementary school from kindergarten up to grade 5.
Okay.
And there was middle school for grades 6, 7, 8. And high school had 4 grades, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Right.
Although in Alberta, you know that the elementary school is up to grade 6. And then there's junior high for 3 grades, and that 3 grades are in senior high.
Yes.
But education is kind of compulsory up till high school.
Unless it's a very big problem and you are unable to learn. But
Yeah.
even if you are unable to learn and you have some sort of, let's say, mental disorder, what does government do in that case?
There are many opportunities available. There are schools for
specialized schools.
Specialized school for special education, and even special bus services for those schools. So that people should not have any hindrance in educating their children who have a challenge in any case.
And they do not become a victim of bullying or anything else in the other schools.
Yeah.
So this is, if there is a mental challenge. Now, there must be some kids who are actually mentally very bright.
Yes.
And they are different than the other kids.
Yeah, since
what does
we live in
government
Alberta,
do for those?
yeah, I'll let you know. In Alberta, there are many different alternate education programs within schools, which are offered to students who have proved to be gifted in terms of their qualification.
Okay.
Cogito program is one of those programs which is present in some of the schools, and it's a fast-paced, structured learning program. For example, they will have a structured curriculum for the whole year. Every week, they will have a review and an exam. Everything that they do at home, at school, is available for the parents to see at home through the website. If
there's a lot of homework given.
There's a lot of homework given.
Does it mean they have to memorize a lot of things?
Not like that, not like what we used to do in our school days.
So we don't have. They don't have to carry.
Most of the stuff that they do is based on concepts and learning, which will stay with them. And the whole program is actually designed in a way to prepare the students to be self-confident and self-contained in terms of gaining the education, and it prepares them better for their university education.
Okay. And you were talking to me about another program which is called Challenge Program.
Yeah, Challenge Program is another program which is also available to students during the testing that goes on in the elementary school, maybe before that as well. There are some students who are coded as gifted, and I do not remember the exact code, but I remember I seeing the letter for my son. He is now going to the Challenge Program, and your son goes to the Cogito program.
No, my son is in the regular one, but another person we know goes into the Cogito program.
So Challenge Program actually is again a little bit different than the regular syllabus. They go through kind of scenario-based questions in mathematics. For example, in regular grade 6, grade 7, they might get a sheet of all the questions where they have to do the mathematical questions, which is in kind of a sequence. But in Challenge Program, I remember there was a question for which I even had to think a couple of minutes to actually grasp the concept what they're actually asking for. In many other subjects as well, they give a lot of homework. They take them to a lot of field trips.
It's very interesting that we have all of these things available, and as far as I know, we don't have to pay for any of these things. I mean, we do have to pay for something like school trips and
for the trips, field trips, you might have to pay
lunchroom fee and stuff like that. We have to pay, but for the instructions portion, we do not have to pay anything, which is a big thing that has been provided by the government.
Yeah, the government provides free education until K-12, until grade 12 from kindergarten.
Now, what happens after grade 12 then?
Um,
University, I heard, is pretty expensive here.
There are many programs available actually. Government encourages parents to plan for their children from the day when they're born. So there is a special program called the Registered Education Savings Plan,
Yeah.
in which you start putting in some money in a savings account on a monthly basis, right when the child is born, or
Yes.
whenever you arrive in Canada,
Yeah.
or whenever you want to start.
Up to the age of 18.
Up to the age of 18, as soon as the child turns 18 and is admitted to a university,
You can use that money.
you can use that money for either take it on a monthly basis, give it directly to the child's account, or take it all at once and then plan for the child's education in any of the university across the country.
And government pays a lot of interest on that account. I mean, it's much more than any bank would pay you.
Yeah, it's there are some grants which the government also puts in into the account, and overall it actually turns out to be a good amount for the whole university education for the child if you have properly invested in it.
So let's say, I came to Canada today and my son is almost 18 already. I mean, I'm not that old, but hypothetically speaking. And he wants to go to university, and I don't have money to, pay for his university. What options would my child have?
There are many other options available. The provinces, all the provinces on a provincial level give a loan for the students to go to the university and higher education. For example, my father, when he came to Canada, he retired. He had done 38 years of service with the Pakistani government. So when he came here, he had already retired, done everything, but he took the student loan from the Ontario government, and he admitted himself in the university, studied for 2 years in a program.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the person. It doesn't, your age does not matter. If you have the capacity and the will to study, you can, at any age, you can get admitted, and you will get the necessary grants from the government.
But to get this loan, why would I go to government? I mean, why wouldn't I go to a bank and get the money from them and start using it?
The terms that the government provides you for the student loans are very favorable for the person. First of all, you don't have to pay any interest until you are studying. Different programs have different conditions, but this is generally the case for most of those. You don't have to pay any interest until after you get a job. And when you get a job, you start paying it back. Until then, you just use the money.
Okay. It's very interesting, what are the different kind of, avenues available to the students, after they have gone through grade 12. You said they could go into university, they could go into college. What other kind of educations are available?
There are many...
or let me rephrase this question. How do the students know where they want to go? Does the school help them?
The school helps them.
Is it something built into the education system
that
tracks it? I remember hearing some sort of survey last year about my son, and he was talking to me. He's in grade 5. I mean, in Pakistan, normally until 10th, we don't even remember if you want to go into arts or science or whatever. But even in grade 3 and even in grade 5, I remember him talking to me about that.
Yeah, actually, I remember that when in this school year, my son has gone to field trips almost once every month. And they have gone to the legislature building, they have gone to the media, I believe the CTV office, they have gone to the...
so all kind of exposure is given to the students.
They are getting all those exposures, and they are starting to make up their mind even in junior high about what they would like to do in future.
It's very interesting. We would love to talk more on this topic, but we are running out of time. So you have heard a lot of things about the education system. In this particular program, we spoke mostly about the inventions that happened in the last 150 years, and how those inventions have been transformed into technological advancements, and what kind of opportunities they have provided to us in gaining the education, living in any part of the world. And again, we talked about briefly about the Canadian education system, and especially Alberta's education system, and what kind of facilities Government of Canada provides you if you're interested in gaining the education and knowledge, no matter what part of the age you are in. So I hope this program was able to provide you enough information about education systems. If you have any questions about the education system or anything related to that, do not hesitate to contact us. We'll try our best to provide you the information that you asked for. Stay safe and don't forget to watch the next program next week. Allah Hafiz.